This video will show you a new idea for using Google Slides Live for synchronous distance learning. So, to begin with, just like with Google Docs Live, you are going to need to make sure that you have enabled the share function. The best thing to do when working with students is to get a shareable link and to make sure that you click here and make sure that anyone at Loudoun County Public Schools with the link can edit is marked. That will enable your students to be able to actually work and do things on your document. But the next thing that I want to actually point out to you is how you can use Slide Masters to have a little more control over the learning experience. What that means is, and this is an example of a slide master, is I put this clip art and these titles here. Students are not able to click on this and move this. This is locked in place. Students are able to click inside these boxes though and type the name of their project and their own names. So what that does is it gives you some control over what's happening. Everyone's heard the phrase too many cooks in the kitchen. If you don't lock down parts of your slides, then things could end up everywhere. Making a slide master gives you some control. So if you want the students to tell you 4 types of poetry that they've learned, all they can do is click inside those boxes and tell you what they know. They can move the text boxes a little bit, but otherwise they can't do a whole lot of damage. So let me show you how to do this. You're going to go under View and click on Master. So this is where you can change what the different master templates look like. Whenever you add a new slide, you get to choose what the layout is. By going here, you're going to be able to change what these look like. So again, you're going to go under View, you click on Master, and let's say, for instance, that you would like to create a Venn diagram for your students to complete. The last slide here is a blank. So what we could do is we need a circle. By clicking on the shift button while you click and drag, you can create a perfect circle. The default for shapes in Google Slides is for the shape to have a gray center, but you can change that by coming up to the paint bucket and you can give it a color. Also, since I'm doing Venn diagrams, I'm going to want this to be transparent. So again, underneath the paint bucket, if you click on custom, you can decide how transparent you want your shape to be. I can change that a little bit there. Now I want another circle and I want it to be the exact same size as the circle. So I control D to duplicate it. I'm going to drag the circle over and keeping that overlap there for the Venn diagram. And I'm going to make this a different color. So I come back up here to the paint bucket. Let's make this one blue. Again, we need to make it transparent so that I can see the other side of that circle in the back. So I am going to under my paint bucket here, go under custom. I'm going to change the transparency here. Okay, so now I can see that middle space. I'm probably going to want to label my circles for my Venn diagram. So I can insert a text box. I'm probably going to want to have that centered. There we go. Now my text is centered. I'm going to duplicate this, Control D, so that I have another text box that is the exact same size. Put that over here, change this to odes, line those up. All right, so now when my students come to this slide, they're not going to be able to change ballads. They're not going to be able to change odes. They're going to be locked to the slide. These shapes are going to be locked to the slide. But what I need to do is I need to have a place for my students to be able to type inside of those circles. So what I do for that is instead of creating a text box, which is going to lock it, I'm going to insert placeholder. That's this right here. If you click on the arrow beside that square with the T, you are going to see that one of your options is to include a body text placeholder. That's what you want. And then you click and drag. And while this box is active, you can change the size of the text that students are going to be able to place in there. You can change the font style if you want. But you need to do that now before you lock the slide in place. All right, I'm going to need to have text here, change the size, and I'm going to want to have text in the center. Okay, so you guys can tweak that and probably make it look better than what I have now, but you get the idea. So now I'm going to come over here and I am going to add a new slide, and my slide master is right there. Now, when students come in, they cannot click and change anything except for clicking inside of the text boxes to add what they know about ballads and odes. So, why is this an important thing to know for synchronous learning? Well, what I can do is if this is an activity that I want all of my students to do, and I want to monitor how well they're understanding this in the moment, I can Control D. Oh, sorry, not over here. Over here. Control D and duplicate the slide for as many students as I have in my class. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a slide before it, and I am going to write down all of my students' names. And I can, in this slide, link their name to a specific slide in my presentation. So for Melissa, I highlight her name, right click, left click on link, left click on slides in this presentation, and I want Melissa to have slide 4. So I'm going to scroll down here, click on slide 4, and apply. I'm going to do that for each of my students. Highlight, right click, left click on link, left click on slides in the presentation, choose the next slide for the next student, apply. Highlight, right click, left click on link, left click on slides in this presentation, and give each student a slide. So now, when I'm meeting with my students synchronously, I'm going to give them directions, probably in a slide before, to click on their name. When they click on their name, it will take them to their slide. And then, once I have everybody on the slide where they're supposed to be, I can come down here and click on Grid View, and I can monitor all of my students working at the same time. Only I'm at my house and they are at their houses. So, hopefully, that gives you one idea, or maybe that might even inspire some better ideas for ways that you can use Google Slides at home for synchronous distance learning. If you need any help, feel free to reach out. Angela and I have office hours every day of the week. And of course, you know that Bill is always there for you too. Thanks.